Monkey King wreaks havoc in heaven. Retold by Debbie Chen. Illustrated by Wenhai Ma. Hundreds upon hundreds of years ago, in a place called Flower Fruit Mountain, there was a remarkable little kingdom of monkeys. And by far the most remarkable thing about this kingdom was its king, who is known simply as Monkey King. Monkey King had been born from a magic stone, and had learned many powerful and mystical arts. His little monkey subjects loved him dearly, especially after he rescued them from some demons. He now decided that they had to learn to defend themselves. He trained a few thousand of them, and soon he had a very strong little army. Monkey King was proud of his warriors, but something was still missing. "I need a royal weapon," he declared. "It must show everyone what a great king I am." An old monkey came forward and said that the Dragon King had a strange and powerful iron wand. Monkey King was delighted. He had always wanted to visit the old dragon's undersea palace. Monkey King said some magic words and flew on a cloud to the sea. He skimmed across the waves and then plunged down to the Dragon King's palace. He marched up to the old king saying, "I'm Monkey King. I've heard you have a powerful wand. Bring it to me." The Dragon King's eyes narrowed. "I've no such thing," he hissed. Monkey King sneered. "Don't try to hide anything from me." He pulled on the old dragon's whiskers. Wise Dragon sensed right away that he could not match Monkey King's power in a battle, so he did not argue further. He swallowed hard and said, "All right, follow me, but I'm sure even you can't lift it." He led Monkey King into a dark forest of seaweed. There they found a glowing metal pillar. This has been here for over 1,000,000 years. Some say the gods used it when they built the starry night sky. It is fantastically heavy. No one has ever been able to lift it. "Let me see about that," Monkey exclaimed. He grabbed the rod and began pulling and twisting it. The ground crackled, sparks flew, and the ancient iron slipped free. On it was written, "Rui, the golden rod which weighs 36,000 kilos. Monkey King frowned. "What does Rui mean?" Dragon King explained that Rui is the staff that grows or shrinks as its master wishes. "Hooray!" cried Monkey King. "Now I can lead the monkey army." Dragon King was relieved to see Monkey King preparing to leave. But before going, the naughty monkey helped himself to some of Dragon's finest clothes, including a red gold cap made of phoenix feathers. Then, with a quick backflip, Monkey soared home. His little monkey soldiers stared in awe as their king showed them the glowing metal rod. "Shrink!" he shouted. Rui shrank to the size of a toothpick. Then he shouted, "Now grow!" Rui grew and grew. The ground shook as Monkey grew with it, and his laughter rang through the valleys. "Now we are invincible," he roared. Meanwhile, far above in the heavenly palace, the Dragon King had made a formal complaint about Monkey King before the Jade Emperor. The ruler of heaven thought of a plan to teach Monkey King some manners. He sent a messenger down to earth to invite the monkey to heaven. "How wonderful!" cried Monkey King. "I've always wanted to see whether heaven is as great as they say." And before long, Monkey King was strolling through the inner court of the heavenly palace. He waved to the Jade Emperor on his throne. "Hello there, what can I do for you?" he asked casually. The Jade Emperor frowned, but then he smiled. "Monkey King of Flower Fruit Mountain," he said in a deep voice, "I appoint you my new master of the imperial stables. You shall tend to the celestial horses." Now Monkey knew that very few people from earth are ever promoted to a post in heaven, so he felt very proud of himself. Monkey worked hard at his new job, and the horses seemed to like him as their caretaker. But one day he heard two guards laughing at him. "What are you laughing at?" Monkey King demanded. "On earth you bragged of your greatness," the guard snickered. "But here in heaven you clean dung from our stables. Ha ha!" Monkey King's eyes blazed as he sensed the truth of the words. "Nobody makes a fool of me," he said to himself. "I'll get that crafty Jade Emperor." He threw open the stables and chased away the horses, and then with a double flip, he flew home. He ordered his monkeys to raise a banner on the top of Flower Fruit Mountain that read, "Monkey King the Sage is equal to any in heaven." The Jade Emperor was genuinely angry with Monkey King, first for turning his horses loose, and now for daring to declare himself equal to any immortal in heaven. The Emperor sent his best warrior, the three-headed Prince Naza, to defeat Monkey King. Monkey King stood his ground and fought Prince Naza brilliantly for 2 days and nights. Finally, he split himself into two. One monkey fought Naza face to face, while the other jumped on him from behind. Prince Naza then took a blow from Ruyi that could have flattened a mountain. More ashamed than hurt, Naza fled back to heaven. Jade Emperor was hopping with anger when he learned of Prince Naza's defeat. That monkey must be destroyed. Call up my heavenly army. But his trusted advisor, White Gold Star, was worried. Your Majesty, it would look bad if more of our fine warriors were humiliated by an earthly monkey. The best battles are those who we don't fight. Let me talk to him. I'll make him the guardian of the sacred orchards. It's an important but boring job, so it will teach him patience and responsibility. Calming himself, the Jade Emperor agreed to his advisor's plan. Sure enough, with some flattering words and promises of treats and comforts, Monkey King happily accepted the job in the fragrant celestial orchard. Now, in one part of the orchard, there grew sacred peach trees whose juicy fruit ripened only once every 1,000 years. Whoever ate one of these peaches became immortal. Monkey King soon found some ripe peaches, and of course, he ate each and every one. With a full tummy, he then shrank back to size and of a worm and took a nap on a leafy branch. Before long, 7 fairy maids appeared. The maidens had been sent to pick the ripe peaches, but seeing only green fruit, they burst into tears. Monkey King awoke with a start, shouting, "Hey, who's crying?" "Orchard Guardian, help us!" cried the eldest maiden. "Someone has taken the ripe peaches we were supposed to pick for Her Majesty's birthday party." Monkey King jumped up. "A birthday party? Now why wasn't I invited?" The fairies then saw peach pits scattered nearby. But before they could cry out, Monkey King made a magic sign, and the maids froze like statues of marble. "Now let's find that party," he said, setting off for the heavenly palace. In the palace cookhouse, Monkey King smelled delicious buns baking. These special buns had magic spices that made whoever ate them impervious to both fire and pain. Monkey King plucked hairs from his head and changed them into mosquitoes that bit the bakers and made them fall asleep on the spot. The monkey gobbled up all the magic buns. Inside the palace, Monkey King found jugs of the Emperor's favorite drink, a potion made of rubies and jade that gave endless youth. Monkey King drank deeply, emptying several jugs. But White Gold Star soon found the empty jugs and sounded the alarm. "Someone has raided the Emperor's potion," he cries. Awoke the bakers, who shouted, "Someone has eaten the magic sweet buns." Their cries awoke the fairy maids. "Help, help, the sacred peaches have been stolen." The heavenly palace was now in a terrible panic. Monkey King, with his belly full of heavenly food and drink, stole away on a cloud back to Flower Fruit Mountain. Later, it was White Gold Star's turn to be boiling angry. "Your Majesty, that horrid ape ruined the Empress's party. He ate the sacred peaches, stuffed himself with magic buns, and drank many jugs of your favorite potion." Jade Emperor shook his head in disbelief, then said, "I have instructed Erlang, my finest general, to lead the heavenly army against Monkey King." General Erlang flew down on his giant eagle to Flower Fruit Mountain as the heavenly army fought the monkey army. Erlang challenged Monkey King to single combat. Armed with Ruyi, Monkey King clashed with Erlang. The mountains, the seas, even the sun, moon, and stars all shook with each dreadful blow. Erlang was the most powerful opponent Monkey King had ever faced. The monkey army soon retreated to Water Curtain Cave, their hideout behind a waterfall. "Surrender now," Erlang commanded Monkey King. "The sage equal to any in heaven fears no one," Monkey King shouted back defiantly. The monkey then changed into a sparrow and darted away from Erlang, but the great warrior became a hawk and chased after him swiftly. Monkey plunged into the river, becoming a fish, but Erlang turned into a heron and snatched him up in his long beak. Monkey King then became a cobra snake and whipped Erlang with his tail before disappearing into the grass. The general regained his true form and stunned the cobra with a stone shot from his sling. Now, for the very first time, Monkey King was injured and could fight no more. He crawled up into the mountains and quickly changed into a pagoda. His body became the walls, his mouth the door, his eyes the windows, and his tail stuck up like a flagpole. When Erlang found the strange building, he wasn't fooled by Monkey King. "Ha! A pagoda never has a flagpole." He kicked in the door and smashed the windows with his sword, rattling Monkey King's head. Taking his true shape again, Monkey King was now caught. Luckily, the magic buns he had eaten made him feel no pain, and the Emperor's potion quickly healed his wounds. General Erlang tied Monkey up in a rope of heavenly silk and hauled him before the Jade Emperor. The Emperor's eyes smoldered. "You have had 2 chances to prove yourself, but you were too wild, mischievous, and selfish. Now I'll cook the magic out of you in my white-hot cauldron." Monkey King just chattered and giggled as he was stuffed into the cauldron that was like a blasting furnace. After 49 days, the Jade Emperor finally opened the huge pot, expecting to see only ashes. But there was Monkey King, still jabbering away, still alive thanks to the sacred peaches, the potion, and magic buns. Only his eyes were stinging and red from the smoke, and this sent him jumping about in a rage. He took Ruyi from behind his ear and began smashing everything in heaven. The gods and goddesses fled in panic, as Monkey shattered many beautiful temples and pagodas. The Jade Emperor was now very worried that the awful monkey couldn't be stopped. He sent an urgent message to the great Buddha, who came at once. Buddha smiled at Monkey King. "How can such a tiny earthly monkey cause so much mischief here in heaven?" Monkey puffed out his chest and announced, "I'm Monkey King, the heavenly sage. I've beaten Jade Emperor, now I will rule his palace." Buddha's face was serene. "But here you could have caused only confusion. It's true you have some great powers, but you're never satisfied with what you have. Do you really think you're wise enough to rule heaven?" Then Buddha extended his hand. "If you can fly out of my hand, the palace is yours. But if you can't, you'll be punished. Are we agreed?" Monkey King looked at the Buddha's right hand. It was only about the size of a lotus leaf, so he shouted, "Agreed." Monkey King stepped onto Buddha's hand. Then he soared up into the clouds. In a flash, he was 80,000 miles away. He saw 5 rose bronze marble pillars rising in the green mist. "Aha!" he thought to himself. "This must be the fence at the sky's end. I'll just leave my mark, then I'll go back to claim my prize." Using a brush made from his own hairs, he wrote on the middle pillar, "Monkey King was here." Then, to be sure, he peed on the base of the pillar. Monkey King flew back to the heavenly palace. "I'm back from the end of the sky," he said. "Now give me the palace." Buddha smiled. "Can you prove it?" "Of course. I wrote my name at the end of the sky. Go see for yourself." Buddha held out his right hand. "Is this your handwriting?" Sure enough, on Buddha's middle finger were the characters Monkey had written, and they were too small, and there too was the smell of a monkey. Monkey King tried to run away, but Buddha held him with his right hand. Monkey cried out, "Gentle-hearted Buddha, let me go. I'll be good. I'll change." Buddha's voice rang like a golden bell. "You used your powers to bring chaos. You were given chances to be good, but you choose to remain wild. Now you must learn or be lost forever." Buddha pushed Monkey King out of the gates of heaven. A reflection of Buddha's hand became a 5-peaked mountain that pinned Monkey King to the earth. "You shall stay there for 500 years, echoed Buddha's voice. 500 years, cried Monkey King. "How will I live?" "What your lips would do. Eat fruits that drop within your reach. I have put a sign at the top of the mountain that tells your story. One day someone will take the sign down and you will be free again." Monkey King groaned from his cramped space. "Who will ever do that for me?" "It is a person who is not yet born," said Buddha, his voice fading into the mists of time. And so, dear reader, this is how Monkey King was punished by the great Buddha. But do not fear for our friend, for his story will carry on once 500 years have come and gone. The end.